Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jasmine's Film House. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at Deep Cover, starring Lawrence Fishburne. This film, directed by Mr. Bill Duke. The packaging you can see on the outside, it has our synopsis on the film on the back. Just to mention, this is spine 1086 for collectors out there. And it also comes with this really great essay that I want to talk a little bit about today on the inside. But before we get to that, you can see our cast here. Main characters, Lawrence Fishburne, Jeff Goldblum, Victoria Dillard, Gregory Sierra, and amongst other performances here, a great performance. Let's see if they have his name listed here. Yes, by Roger Guinevere Smith. A very great performance by him in this movie. This was directed again by Mr. Bill Duke. And the essay on the inside, titled "Who'll Pay Reparations on My Soul," is by film scholar Michael Boyce Gillespie. And this essay is an analysis of Deep Cover, exploring the themes of Black identity, film noir, which is great for this month with it being Noir-vember. So a spin there on November and film noir. So film noir conventions in this film, and also the complexities of race and morality within the context of the drug trade. So there are a few different key points. So this film debuted in 1992, Deep Cover. And some of the things that it did was reimagine film noir. It has an exploration of Black identity. It critiques systemic racism. And there's a subversion of tropes and stereotypes in this film, as well as a conversation surrounding ambiguity and moral complexity, and also cultural impact. I'll start some of the things that I just want to pull out. And I also want to mention that this essay is available on the Criterion website in their magazine Current. There isn't a search feature on the website, so you do have to scroll through a lot of the other essays, but you may find some other essays that you like from several other Criterion films. But there's no search feature, so it's kind of buried in there. You have to scroll back a little to find these things. But I'll just start from the top. So about reimagining film noir. So Deep Cover challenges the traditional film noir, which historically centered on whiteness, crime, and social critique, by integrating Black identity and experiences. It expands on the aesthetic codes of classical noir using high contrast lighting, the chiaroscuro lighting that's often done where it's done a lot now in Marvel films, where you'll have half of a face lit and the other half is dark, almost where you can't decipher the facial features on the dark side of the face. So that was an aesthetic technique of classic film noir, and it expands the aesthetic codes of classic noir using this high contrast lighting with reds and blues to create a unique visual style, which is sort of highlighted here in the cover art in the supplementary material for Deep Cover. So you can see them adding in these reds and blues, as well as on the disc on the inside. We're highlighting that difference between classic noir and the unique aesthetic choices that Bill Duke chose for this film. Secondly, it explores, there's an exploration of Black identity. So the film uses the protagonist, Russell Stevens, also John Hull. So Lawrence Fishburne is going deep cover in this film. He's going undercover in a drug trade to work his way to the top of this cartel. And with this dual identity, it explores themes of Black interiority, trauma, and double consciousness as described by W.E.B. Du Bois. The voiceover narration provides insight into Stephen's internal struggles, bridging his traumatic past and uncertain future. And next, there's a critique of systemic racism. So the film critiques systemic racism and the U.S. government's complicity in the drug trade, highlighting the high political interest, undermining of law enforcement, or which undermined law enforcement efforts. And this was later corroborated with Gary Webb's Dark Alliance series in 1996. So if you're interested in the themes that are being explored within Deep Cover, that series, Deep Alliance from 1996, might be a great companion to watch with this film. And next, what it does is subvert stereotypes and tropes. So Deep Cover subverts common film tropes such as the interracial buddy film that we've seen with some of the I'm thinking of the Sidney Poitier films, the Eddie Murphy films, all of those buddy film, buddy cop type of drama. So it's rejecting those simplistic narratives of racial harmony and instead presenting complex relationships that are shaped by power dynamics and also racialization, which you can see towards the end, and also Dr. Gillespie expounds on in the essay, where he gives more detail to those subversions within the narrative and with the relationship between Jeff Goldblum's character and also Lawrence Fishburne's character. Next, there's an ambiguity in moral complexity. So the film ends with an open-ended question, rejecting the traditional noir promise of justice and resolution. So the ambiguity underscores the moral complexity of the protagonist's choices and reflects broader societal dilemmas, and which is also a comment, or it's also in the title of this essay, Who'll Pay Reparations on My Soul, which is our closing out for the film, which is also not just subverting traditional classic noir, not only subverting the classic noir narrative, which gives you closure at the end, it's also subverting classic Hollywood cinema in that you get a resolution in most Hollywood films. And the last point here is that on cultural impact. So the film's historical importance, it stems from its connection with hip hop culture. This film has an excellent soundtrack featuring Dr. Dre's first post NWA single and introducing Snoop Dogg to the world. So this was the song with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg on Deep Cover was Snoop Dogg's introduction to the mass public audience. So there's the cultural significance there. And lastly, overall, Deep Cover is significant for its innovative approach to film noir, its deep engagement with Black identity and systemic issues, and its lasting cultural impact. It serves as a model for understanding the art and possibilities of Black film and offering questions rather than definitive answers about crime, justice, and American society. And I did want to highlight, because Dr. Boyce Gillespie, Michael Boyce Gillespie, also has lots of research that he's done within this area of film Blackness and Black cinema. So if you're interested in learning more, let's see here. So if you're interested in learning more, he has a book that came out in 2016 titled Film Blackness, American Cinema and the Idea of Film. So just those are some of the companion pieces that you can to look further and to explore further the themes of deep cover and where we situate it within American cinema. This is one that I definitely recommend. I had the opportunity to meet Bill Duke this year, and I spoke to him about some of the work that I'm doing on Black authorship as a doctoral student. And I got some really encouraging words and things that he told me about the industry and different things that I can explore. So this is a great film to add to your collection. Just to reiterate again, this is the beginning of the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble, which started on November 7th. I believe it's going to run for 1 month. So if you're interested in adding deep cover or any other films to your collection, you can visit Barnes & Noble and get them for 50% off. Again, if you're interested in the essay, there is you do have the option to look up the essay in the current digital magazine, which is on the Criterion Collection website. Again, you do have to scroll back through to actually find this particular essay, but there are lots more essays, and I just wanted to add this one to my personal collection. And I would like to hear your comments on deep cover and other film noirs. Another one that I'm interested in picking up film noir is Devil in a Blue Dress, which stars Denzel Washington and also Don Cheadle. So that one I don't have in my collection yet, but I'm looking to add it soon. Another Black film noir. So it would be interesting to put those two films in conversation with one another. Just some of the upcoming films I'm looking here on my desk that I have coming up that I'll speak about on the channel. Let me turn these around. So some upcoming films that I'll be speaking about is Saint Omer, which I mentioned in a short a few days ago. Basquiat, starring Jeffrey Wright, who is one of my favorite contemporary actors. Shaft, which I opened the box and I realized that also Shaft's big score is a part of the Digipack. So you get the Blu-ray of Shaft, the 4K of Shaft, and then a Blu-ray of Shaft's big score. So that was a great surprise in that one. Also, Malcolm X was one that I recently added to my collection. The Wiz, Three Colors, Blue Blanca Rouge, and also Melvin Van Peebles' Essential Films and Chronos. I know lots of people are talking about Guillermo del Toro now with the new addition to his catalog of Frankenstein, which I watched a few days ago and I thought was an excellent film. I love the aesthetics of Guillermo del Toro's films. And I'm thinking about, those are all of the things that I have coming up. And I was reading just the back cover of Shaft, and I was thinking about the relationship between Shaft and the Rush Hour movies, because for some reason, I never put together how closely the storylines of those films were. So that's one that I'll do a deep dive into. And one of one of the other things that I was thinking of, just in terms of my personal research, are these conventions within the Hollywood studio system that makes it appear as if representation is progressing for Black people, but it's more of policies that are that are upholding classic structures. So one would be the buddy cop films that are mentioned in this essay. And when I was reading that section of Dr. Gillespie's article, I was also thinking about Kristen Warner's colorblind casting. So some of these policies that are put in place where it's like, well, the best person for the job gets it. So it's this idea of meritocracy. But when you look deeper into those structures, it's more of upholding what already exists. So I'll be commenting more on those structures as I go through and continue to discuss these films. So hope you all had a good time today thinking through Deep Cover. I probably will come back with, I'm still trying to think through how I want to produce content for this channel, but I'm thinking that I may take a scene and analyze a scene from each film. So instead of doing a full review, or maybe in addition to a full review, I'll also do an analysis of a particular scene, breaking down the film style and film aesthetics. So that may be something, if people are interested in that, I'll also move deeper into that direction. So let me know your thoughts. Have you seen Deep Cover? Have you added Deep Cover to your collection? Do you have this Deep Cover from any other boutique house, film house, or any other place that it was offered? And does the supplementary material, is it something that we should be looking at to see, to deepen our discussion on Deep Cover? I would like to know all of that information. So if you would like to share, please drop it down in the comments. And then I have to do the obligatory, please like, comment, and subscribe. So I will see you all on the next Film House with Jasmine R. Hudson. See you all later. Bye-bye.